Well, when the DEP was there, he was more concerned of the overview of the last, 50 feet of the development.
Okay.
Granted, he did take a step back and look at the whole development as a whole.
Right.
But his aspect was the last back of the development,
The swamp land.
the swamplands that about the school.
Okay.
The swampland with 15 feet of fill sitting on it.
Well, see, that's another thing. Now, when the water was coming down 18, hitting the street and coming into my backyard, I built these little dams to redirect the water away from
Your house.
my house.
And your basement.
What I don't understand is, the city has engineers that can make a little berm or something that redirect the water away from the school. I don't think it'll take much. I did it with dirt and a shovel.
Okay.
There are things that can be done to remediate the flooding of the school. Direct flooding from runoff, not the overflow for other issues.
That haven't not been done yet.
Nothing's been touched, nothing's been addressed. They put the pile of dirt at the end of the circle to alleviate it, but there's a foot down of erosion because there's so much water going down. Now, when it goes to the school, the principals even complained about it. Of an elementary school. What does it say about us if we don't listen to what this principal has to say? She's been doing this for 18 years. She's awful smart. And when she can't get any resolution, she's not happy about the basin. Not that it's a mosquito breeding ground as of yet, but the safety concerns of being that close to a school concern her immensely, and yet she falls on deaf ears.
As it should, anyone connected with education in particular. I'm not blaming Mike Longo. Mike Longo is on his way out. But obviously, this problem is not going to disappear before the new superintendent comes in. And certainly, I know personally she's going to hear about it because we're going to get on the agenda to go before the school committee. We don't know what she have been told or what she will be told, but one of the things that's going to happen is that you request to be put on the school committee agenda, and when we make that request, we're going to request that you, the school principal there or the assistant principal or teachers who have also, I understand that some teachers have taken out a lawsuit to address their issues that disconcern them. And I know that there are parents in that area that needs to address this. The new superintendent probably does not have the time to address it, but the old superintendent probably don't have the time to address this. But the new superintendent, Dr. Bonner, can't avoid it. It is going to be addressed. It is going to be placed on the school committee agenda. And I know that that even if the school committee people do not want to do it, Jill Usack is going to be one of the supporters of that. And I don't see how the mayor or any of the other new or old school committee people can say we're going to ignore it. They can say we can ignore it because it haven't ever been placed on the school committee agenda. Or did you do that?
But I did not do that yet.
Okay.
But see, this is where I think that disconnect is. Like when I tried to go through the channels to get my issues resolved, the disconnect is there. The principal in herself can't even get, a resolution. How many people on the school committee have physically seen that?
Or been there.
Or been there.
Or been.
So there's a disconnect. People just don't know that type of situation that we have back there.
Well, one of the things, I know that we're getting pretty short on time here, but one of the things that we can assure you, Tom, we're not going to leave you. And all of those avenues that they think that you don't know, someone in this group that we are associated with, either Dave, either Tony Amaral, either Judy, either someone of us know how to get this issue to the school committee, to get it to whatever federal or state agency that it needs to get before, to get it before the city council, and that's another place that it has to be addressed as well. It has to be addressed before city council. And we would ask Linda Murad to do that since she's the counselor in that area. And there are other counselors that we know that will support that, because every politician who they run on the issues of health, on the environment, of children, as well as senior citizens. So this affects all of the above.
I just want to say one thing. of all the channels of the city I've tried to go through, and all the people that I've spoken to within the city of New Bedford, 2 years now. 2 years I've been fighting this, me and my wife. I have emails to David Kennedy. I have emails to the mayor. I have emails to Billy Burns. I have emails to everybody. Not one person would respond or even call. But in this good community we live in, there are people that care. And you guys, Eddie Johnson, Dave, you guys showed me that this is a good place to live. And it's worth fighting for. This is our city, and there are good people here. There may not be the same people running the city, but the residents that live here, there are good people here. We need to get that point across.
And we're not going to walk away from you. We'll be there to support you. I know that Evan will do it. I know that Brian will do it.
Whatever
I know there are other people. There are other environmentalists, Buddy Andrade, all of those people, Steve Santos, all of us are going to be there to support you, and we refuse to be ignored.
It's not just an environmental issue. It's a community issue.
It's a city issue.
It's our issue. We live here.
Absolutely.
We need to see what we can do about getting this resolved, getting it fixed, and finding something else we can tackle when this is done.
Dave,
before
you
we
want to wrap it up?
We haven't really covered the retention pond, which is probably New Bedford's very first flume. We need a good water park, but the retention pond was our first really poor example of having an amusement park with a water flume in it. They built this retention pond. It filled with 4 to 5 feet of water. And then something happened for them to want to drain this water retention pond. And they made a first stab at draining it, then they made a second stab at draining it, which ended up with the complete flooding of Principal Kazira's car.
Yeah, the way the retention basin is constructed, it holds water. And it was about 5 feet deep. And Ron LaBelle came down, and I had a talk and conversation with him, and he agreed that having that much water this close to the school was not a good thing.
It's probably half the size of an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Yeah, that's about a good characterization. But the developer was told to pump out the retention pond, and he had a pump, and it was pumping, but it wasn't pumping quick enough before the zoning board of appeals meeting. That was the next day. So what happens is, before a meeting, people from the city on the particular boards will drive down, see what was done, what wasn't done, and then have the meeting, say I was on site, which they were, and they saw this and they saw that. But before the people came down, he wanted to empty the basin. So they cored out a 2-inch diameter, which I have the core. They cored out the bottom of the basin and released all of the water. Now, all that water, I'm not sure what it's designed to hold. I'm having those calculations made for me. I think it's like 15,000 gallons. But
Pretty close.
But he punctured the bottom and released all the water in 35 to 40 minutes, and I have it on video. It just went. It
went everywhere.
It decimated everything.
When
Water goes downhill. School's below the basin. It all ended up there. It was coming
at Pulaski.
It flooded where the teachers parked their cars along the edge of the road. I mean, flooded them out. You couldn't get into your car or your feet. You can't. It's not like a little puddle. It was standing water. Yeah, Mrs. Kazira's car was wet.
And this is also about supporting not only the parents and the students at that school, but it's also about supporting the principal, the assistant principal, the administrators, and anyone, the teachers and all the people that work in there. They deserve the same protection that Mayor Lang and City Council and Zoning Board of Appeals and Conservation Commission people do who do not live in that neighborhood. As you stated, it is a citywide issue and a neighborhood issue, and it will be addressed as such.
I mean, it's a hidden jewel. I mean, you have some good land there. You have a little playground out back. It's a good-sized school. You know, it's a gem. We should be protecting that with all we got.
And teachers and students and parents need to feel that when their children are in a school, any of our public schools, that they are safe and don't have to, and instead of having to not only worry about the educational process and educating the children, they now got to worry about their health. And what is in that water, what is coming through that school, we don't know. And politicians, including Mayor Lang, you need to step up to the plate, because the plate is not going to move, and we are the people that are going to make sure that if you're at that plate, you got to address it. You know, you're not going to just walk away from this without a fight.
Now, what came out at the most recent Pulaski School that makes everybody a little bit worried at this point? We had a lady stand up, and I believe she's on one of the boards of the city of New Bedford. Her husband has died recently of cancer.
Yep.
And 9 other houses in her same development,
I think they're within 50 yards of each other.
within 50 yards of
They
each
all
other,
have-
have all died of the same type of cancer.
Or similar. They're all the same, not the exact specific types of cancer, but they're all
In the same family.
same family of
Same
cancer,
family
whether
of
it is.
cancers.
But I mean, here are a lot of miscarriages over there.
If people aren't familiar, we're talking, it's Briarwood, I believe.
It's
the Briarwood section.
It is the development directly across from the Pulaski School.
And the Dunkin' Donuts, if you're not familiar with the school.
The Dunkin' right there.
Off of exit 7 from 140.
That night after the meeting, when that lady got up and spoke, I couldn't sleep. I was really, really
It was
bothered by it.
heart-wrenching, yeah.
You know, and if we can do anything, we have to at least know that everything over there is fine. We have to. I mean, that
And they
is
should
too
be
much.
tested by the
Absolutely.
CDC. They
Just-
should be.
Listen, this is an old Milltown, and a lot of stuff like that went on in the days. Let's just make sure that everybody's safe, and then we can move from there. Start there. But right now, we can't. With what we're being told by some of the residents that live in there, it's not looking too good.
Right.
Which is unfortunate because this is the north end, and we all had the image that this was a pristine section of the town that is now suffering an immense amount of development. The question has to be asked about this development. Are they following the rules, or are they just building for the sake of a tax base? You have any thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts on it as we kind of close this out. First of all, I just wanted to say that, you know, Karen Valandri, who is an expert in disease, and particularly those diseases that you catch or you get from contamination. I thought that Karen made an excellent presentation. I thought that there was a mother there who had a child there who suffers from asthma. I think that the health issues connected to this are extremely serious, should be addressed and addressed forthwith and immediately, and the people to address those are the people that we elected, including mayor, city council, in particular the councils at large, who should be out supporting Linda Murad. Linda is a council from Ward 1 and certainly is on top of the issues, but she also needs the support from her fellow councilors, be they the councilors at large, especially, as well as the entire city council body, from the president of the council, Jane Gonzalez, to the rest. And I am sure that once it gets before them, that they are going to address it. Now, they probably won't address it until it's before them on a city council calendar and agenda, and we will ask Linda to do that, and I'm sure that she is willing to do that. And there's no reason why she wouldn't do it one way or the other. But she needs the support of her fellow councilors because they represent all of us. And councilors just don't vote because they're from Ward 3 or 2 or 5. When you're voting on an issue on the city council agenda or calendar, that vote affects every voter in the city of New Bedford as well as businesses as well. So once it reaches the city council agenda, then it forces the hand of the mayor and all the rest of those people, because even though the mayor appoints all of those boards and commissions, they have to go before city council for approval, and that's where they can be questioned at. Yep. And those appointments are coming up, and if they're not coming up, there's nothing that keeps the councils from requesting that they come before them and address these issues.
Very good. Camera, Lynn, here. Thanks. From City Views, this is David Gould, Eddie Johnson, our guest Tom DeRocha. Thanks for watching. And the Catherine arrived.
that made her blind, and she felt such pain. Some spoke in anger, heard folks say there's no place here for her kind. Still on she came, with a shame that flushed her face. To last, she knelt before his feet. Although she spoke no words, everything she said was heard as she poured her love for the master from her box of alabaster. I come to pour my praise on him like oil from Mary's alabaster box. Don't be angry if I wash his feet with my tears and dry them with my hair. You weren't there the night he found me. You did not feel what I felt when he wrapped his loving arms around me. And you don't know the cost of the oil in my alabaster box. I can't a prisoner to the sin that had me bound, and I spend my days, I put my life without measure into a little treasure box I thought I found. And unto that day when Jesus came to me and filled my life with the wonders of his love. And now I'm giving back to him all the praise he's worthy of. I've been forgiven, and that's why I love him so much. I've come to pour my praise on him like oil
Got so much funk up in the rap, I should pack a fat bowl. Y'all should kick back, relax, and just roll with me.